Hi you guys, welcome to my channel, Lovely Lady on YouTube. I just wanted to go ahead and film my second installment of my series From One Newbie to Another Black Owned Business Owner. I just wanted to document and talk about my experiences as a new business owner, and hopefully I can help somebody else out. You can learn from my mistakes, and it's something I can look back on a year or so from now and be able to be like, wow, this is kind of where I've come from. Without too much long-windedness, let's get right into it. This video we're going to be talking about vendors and pop-up shops. And real quick, before I forget, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. And if you have some things that you want to know about or that you want me to post videos about, please let me know, because whatever you want to know, you guys, I am here to share. I am not selfish. There is more than enough out here for us, to all win in the game. So, without further ado, my first tip for going to a pop-up shop or a vendor event, and if you don't know what that is, I'll give a little description in the description box below. But basically, my first tip is to, up to 5 to 7 days before the event, post every day promoting your event. Do like a countdown. Really get it out there, share it, even maybe do a paid promotion via IG or Facebook ads. That way your audience can really know about it, especially your local audience. And when you're doing your paid promotion, you can choose what area that you are promoting to. So definitely talk it up. And even in addition to that, outside of that 5 to 7 day window before the event, prior to that, every 2 to 3 days per week, or in a week span, 2 to 3 days, post about the event, before that 5 to 7 day window, just so that you can start getting the hype up and people can know that they are going to be out there, that you're going to be at this event. And also, because there may be people who have been looking at your stuff on the internet or just on your website or on social media, but didn't necessarily want to buy online, but wanted to come see it in person or wanted to meet you in person. And that way they can get a heads up about the event coming. My second little tidbit of advice is to announce a raffle. We did a raffle at our first pop-up shop / vendor event, and it went really well. It was literally a $1 raffle, and we raffled off one full-size item of our skincare, on our skincare line, like a whip, one of our whips or one of our scrubs, etc. And when we announced it, it's our little fishbowl, I didn't even verbally say anything. I just did a little video of me sifting through it and picking out the winner. You can do a $1, $2, $5, $10 raffle. The more, the higher quality of the item that you're giving away is going to determine the cost of your raffle. For example, if I was giving away a whole gift basket of our products, or like an electronic item, I probably would do a $10, $20, $25 raffle. But if I was giving away a sample or something like that, and it was our first time, which is why I chose to do a $1 raffle, just to kind of get a feel of the customers that I was getting. But it went really well. We made a pretty good amount of money. And just FYI, the amount that you make on the raffle, you want it to be more than the amount of money or the cost of the item that you're giving away. FYI, something to keep in mind. Number 3, so I told you guys this was B&B's first vendor event, Beauty Bestess' first vendor event, pop-up shop, and I should have asked somebody. That probably should be my number 3, but that's not the number 3. But I probably should have gotten some advice from another business owner or somebody who did one before, because I didn't come with a cash box. So that is my number 3. Get you a cash box. Get your methods of payment down. If you're not going to accept cash, get that down. However you are going to accept payment for your products, make sure it is very organized and already kind of pre-thought out, because if you're accepting cash, you want to make sure you're able to give change. And so your first customer could come with a $100 bill, $50 bill, and you need to be able to give change. You know, be prepared for that. And so I was not, to be really honest. I didn't have a cash box. I didn't have anything. I literally had, I don't even have it right, but a little like makeup thing that kind of looked like this. But it was smaller. And I just ended up putting cash in there. Luckily, due to that, having that dollar raffle and our prices being pretty exact, I was able to not have to give cash back for our first few transactions. So I was able to build up the cash that I had on hand. But that was purely a gift from God, because I was not prepared for that. I knew I had set up my Square card reader, and I'll drop a little picture of it over here or over here, I don't know, depending on what I have going on my screen. But I had the little Square card reader, and I knew I was going to do that. My goal was to make or sell products directly through our website, so that I could keep a better track of inventory, but I was not prepared for the event when it came to having the ability to do that. So I really should have practiced in advance kind of doing that, selling in person but through our website with a debit card. We did use Square, and all that went directly to our business checking account, but I really wanted to keep a better track of inventory and what we were selling by selling directly through our website, and I did not practice that to be able to do that really well. And again, I didn't have a cash box, but thank God, kind of my sales, the way they worked, I ended up being able to give change because of not having to give change in the beginning to the cash sales. So get your money right, girl, before you go to the event, because I was not prepared, but just the way things happen, again, it worked out. But that may not always be the case, so do not rely on things just happening, you know, but get your stuff right. Number 4 is a really big one for me, because it kind of, I'll just tell you what it is. Organize your products and get your presentation organized. So just to give you a backstory, the event started at 4. We could start setting up at 2:30. The vendor, they provided a table and a chair for each business, or 2 chairs if you needed it. I did not get there until like 3 o'clock, almost like 3:15, because this was my first one, so I was batching a lot of products. Me and my business owner or business partner were batching a lot of products at the last minute, just because we really didn't have an idea of how much we would sell. We weren't for sure the type of crowd that would come. So maybe a little recommendation: try to investigate the reach of the vendor host, because if they're super popular, they're probably going to garner more people. So we just batched a lot of stuff. We just weren't for sure, so we brought a lot of stuff. I'm not even gonna lie, like, it was so much stuff. Like, I had clothes, I had scrubs, whips, toners, jewelry, and it was just so much stuff. And because this was our first event, I didn't have an organized system to bring it to the event in. So I literally had like all my Amazon boxes that I had just used. I had put stuff in like multitudes of bags and boxes, and I was not ready. So a lot of times when it came to getting stuff on the table, or I was looking for stuff or trying to restock things that I had sold on the table, I had to look through a whole bunch of stuff to get to it. Like my bags that I was using to like put the products that people had bought in, I just was not organized. And I'm gonna just be really transparent about that. I was not organized, and when things are unorganized or messy, that's like my kryptonite, and I kind of like shut down and I get really nervous when that happens. But the more organized things are, I can just think clearer, and that is a better situation for me. So I recommend figure out an organization system for you. I've already figured out, and I'll drop a picture up here of what we're going to do for our next event and how we're going to have it organized. I used to be in cosmetology school, so I used that tall plastic drawer set, and I had every drawer labeled about what was in it. And that's what I'm going to do, or we're going to do on our next vendor event. That way I don't have 50 million boxes with just stuff everywhere. And that way when it's time for me to pull out a bag, I can just open a drawer, pull out a bag, and put it in there. So that is something else that I recommend you guys doing. Hey you guys, I just wanted to insert a quick clip of the organization that I was just talking about. We have since did 2 vendor events since then, and I just wanted to show you real quick. So here is the drawer system that I was talking about, and I have listed on each side with what's in it. I created a price list and a method of payment list and laminated it so that people can just scan our cash app code and they accept the cash app. And inside the drawers, I have these little organizers to organize the different products that we have. And I also have this. My only recommendation is get something that has more slots for dollar bills instead of all these coins, because the reality is we don't really use all these coins, and I still don't like having to pick up and all the cash that we've gotten, because you get 20, 10s, 5 ones, sometimes bigger than that, and you gotta like pick all that up to sift through what you give change. So it's better if you have more dollar bill slots than this, just FYI. And last but not least, so now I went from having like literally 5 or 6 boxes to literally just having 3 items that we now carry to the vendor event. It's this drawer system, and then like a gray plastic tote. And then what we use to carry it all in instead of lifting 5 or 10 boxes is this. And we only had one, and my best friend has the other one, but I also purchased one for me to have. And I saw other vendors doing this, and it's like a godsend. Literally, you put the big tote at the bottom, put this on top of it, and then that, and honey, you can just roll it all in instead of having to make multiple trips back and forth to your car. So this is what I highly recommend on whatever level of products that you have to get. So yeah, thank you. Also, part of number 4 is presentation and your table presentation. That is really important. Some of the things that, even though I was not as organized as I wanted to be, that helped us garner the amount of sales that we did, because we did pretty well for our first event, I think anyway, is that people said that the presentation was very luxurious. And what else did they say? They said it was eye-catching, glamorous. And even though I didn't feel organized, they liked the way things were set up on the table. Again, I'll insert pictures over here, but I had like clear stand risers that really helped like elevate products so that everything just wasn't flat. So it was like a tiered elevation of products, and people really seemed to like that. I'll also put a picture up here of what our table looked like. I'll do a screenshot of the little video that I took. But people just really liked it, and I was really grateful for that, because like I said, I wasn't as organized. I didn't even get everything put out the way I wanted to, because literally as I was sitting things out, once things started to kind of take form, people started to try to come by for me. So thank God my mom came and helped me start to hang up clothes, because I literally couldn't even finish sitting out all my stuff, because people, once they saw our skincare products get set on the table, they were coming over and trying to buy from me. So that was a blessing as well. And then a recommendation I also make, once you get your stuff organized, don't try to sit everything on the table, because I tried to do that at first and I had to real quick regroup. Put samples in like a couple of jars, or depending on what you're selling, out on the table, and then have a system next to you or behind you, or where you can easily get access to, and pull out what you're going to sell from there, but just keep like something like samples on the table. That made a big difference. I think once I was able to get samples that people could smell, I had hand sanitizer on the table as well, and kind of like garner from there. That also helped drive sales, because they could get a feel of what the product they wanted was, and also the table didn't look too cluttered anymore. So once I literally put like 1 or 2 representatives of each thing on the table, and then I also had like a little sample with sample sticks inside that people could use, because it's COVID, you don't want people sticking their hand, and even if it wasn't, that's nasty. But I had little sample sticks where you could like pull it out. I had hand sanitizer next to that, and you could smell it, put it on your hand, and I also had like a little trash can that they could throw away their sample sticks in. And that really garnered a lot of sales. Like the main one, we sold out of our Peach Perfect whip. People loved the smell of that. Like they were like, this smells edible. They loved it so much. So don't overload your table. Put samples and like representatives of all of your products out, and then as you sell, you can pull more out. because you don't want your table looking cluttered, because sometimes customers can get overwhelmed. You know how that feeling when you go to like TJ Maxx and Marshalls and you walk in and there's just like crap everywhere, and you're like, there's something in here that I probably really want to buy and it's a great deal, but I can't even get to it because of just the way this looks. That's the same situation with getting your table together. And number 5, be friendly and energetic. Even though I was pretty much overwhelmed, I tried to make sure I kept a smile on my face. I tried to make sure I was present. Anytime somebody walked up to my table, even if I was talking to somebody else, I made sure I acknowledged them. Like if I was talking to someone and someone else walked up, I was like, hey, I'll be with you in just a second, or thanks for visiting my table. Then I would go back to them. I always made sure I was energetic and engaging. And like I said, I had enough samples on my table where people could kind of sample things even if I was finishing a sale with someone else. And then also have your like a couple of 30-second elevator pitches ready. That's really important because sometimes people would come up and I could tell they were looking, they really didn't know what to say, and I'm looking at them and they looking at me. But thank God I pretty much mastered 30-second elevator pitches just because of my experience in the workplace. So I had like a couple of quick just elevator pitches I was spitting off the top of my head about the whys of why our business started, kind of about the products. Get a couple of those. Even if you have to practice some and you're not a big people person, get you a couple 30-second elevator pitches that you can, and I really would say more 15 seconds probably, that you can pitch to the person coming to you, especially if you see they have their eye on an item. Kind of have something that you can say about that item that might just, snatch the sale, because I think that worked a lot. For example, one of mine had to do with the fact that I'm super allergic to everything. So our skincare line that we have on the Beauty Bestess website, all of it is stuff that I can use without breaking out. And when I tell people that, like, I was like, you look at me the wrong way, I break out in hives. And they were like, yeah, me too. So that really made a big difference. We even had men coming over with their wives, telling their wives to get stuff. Like, it was crazy. But yeah, have your whys, your quick 30-second elevator pitches. That's really, really, really important. And last but not least, go support the other vendors at the table. If you're not there by yourself and you have someone that can watch the table while you go support, definitely go do it. Because if you can support the other businesses, definitely at minimum, go say hi and get business cards. It is just really, really important to support the community and to support all businesses. I'm not just going to say black businesses, but specifically smaller businesses, because those are really the businesses that make up the economy, that improve your community that you live in. I'm not going to go too long-winded about it, but that's something that I made sure I did. I walked around to every table. I tried to buy something, inexpensive, because, I'm not balling. I don't want to spend all my all the money we made, supporting other businesses, but with my personal money, non-business money, I bought something little from every table that I could actually get something from. Even if it was something that we already sold at our table, I still bought it. And actually there's going to be another video here shortly with me reviewing the things that I got from other businesses, so don't forget to go watch that. It'll be a really quick tidbit about what I bought. But yeah, that's something really, really important. Support the other businesses. Go smile, introduce yourself, network. You never know. You might want to host a pop-up shop. So you need to be friendly to these people. And, buy something from them. Like I said, even if they're selling the same thing you're selling, girl, buy something that might just be a little bit different. Like I bought some lip glosses that were really cute. And we don't have a lot of lip glosses on our website yet, even though we want to. So, yeah, that is pretty much all of my tips. That was 6 different tips for doing your first pop-up shop vendor event, what I've learned. And if you guys have any questions, please drop them below. I am an open book. I love sharing knowledge and helping other people grow. And again, thank you for watching.